Bumping that. Hello everyone, I'm Victoria. Welcome back to my channel. I am starting a new reading vlog, and if you haven't noticed, it is BRAT themed. It is BRAT summer themed books, and I'm so excited about this. I thought about doing this earlier in the summer and it got away from me, and then I was like, well, it's August, we're running out of time, I gotta do this. So this reading vlog is all gonna be books that scream BRAT summer. I'm so excited. I love Charlie XCX, I love BRAT. It's so fun, such a good time, and there is a specific vibe that BRAT gives off, and I am going to read books that give that feeling. If you don't know what BRAT is, it is an album by Charlie XCX, and it's turned into this whole thing. It's very much a sign of the times. It is in the zeitgeist. It is just making all of us party girls feel amazing, even though I'm not a party girl anymore, but I once upon a time. And yeah, I'm so excited about this reading vlog. If you also are having a BRAT summer, give me a comment below, say hi, let me know that you are also listening, loving, living BRAT. I've got my green on. You can see my bra underneath. I'm doing the whole shebang for this vlog right now. Now let's talk about the books that I am reading. I have a few on my list that I was like, yes, that's even BRAT. And the first one on my list is a short lit fiction thriller, it sounds like. It is My Sister, the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I watched a few videos of the author saying their name, and I think I am saying it correctly, and if not, I apologize. Now this one is about a girl whose sister seems to be killing her boyfriends, or at least something has happened to all of her boyfriends, and she is an accomplice in some of these murders. So what's more BRAT than killing boyfriends? I don't know, but it seemed to perfectly fit with this theme, and also the green on the cover, this girl slaying, it's giving BRAT, so love that. And I actually have already started this one. I'm a bit through, it's super duper short, so I will go into that a bit more in a minute. And then the next one is Perfume and Pain by Anna Dorn. This is a new release, lit fic, queer, sapphic, and I'm so excited about it. This one is about an author who kind of got canceled. She has a bit of a substance abuse issue, and she would take a cocktail of different things, and it got her into some trouble, and she got canceled. But she's kind of coming back, because who's actually ever truly canceled? And she's kind of making a comeback. An actress slash influencer has signed on to produce one of her books into a film. We see this girl at first going through a sober journey, and then she like relapses and gets in trouble. That's what it seems like. And then I have two other options, which I'm probably only gonna read one, but one is All Night Pharmacy by Ruth Madivsky. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This is about two sisters. One of them's older, her name's Debbie, and she is kind of a party girl, and her sister has always looked up to her and kind of partied with her as well. But then her sister goes missing, and she starts working at an ER pharmacy and taking drugs and stealing those drugs from the pharmacy. And then she also meets a psychic that she becomes obsessed with, which I don't even know. It sounds all over the place, but definitely giving party girl. And the next one is Reluctant Immortals by Gwendolyn Keist. This one is a lit romance horror, and it's about two women that were formerly victims of Dracula and Mr. Rochester from Jane Eyre, which sounds really interesting, but it's set in the late 60s in California, and Dracula and Mr. Rochester come back to find these women and I guess take them back because they have escaped. So it's giving kind of a weird horror alternate universe kind of thing. I don't know, but it sounds exactly within the theme to me. So I'm really excited about that, and I'll pick which one I'm gonna read later in the vlog, see how I feel. But yeah, saw all these and they were giving BRAT summer, and that's what I wanted. So I'm excited about this vlog. I have been reading My Sister, the Serial Killer, and so far pretty good. It's short. I'm about 50% in now, and we have this girl where we're following her. It starts out she's helping her sister do away with the body of her boyfriend that she stabbed, and turns out this is a pattern that her boyfriends end up murdered by her sister, and she at first thinks that it's because of self-defense reasons and like these men deserve it, but it kind of seems more and more like no, she just has a problem and wants to kill people. So Her sister is very like self-centered. She's rude, like always gets what she wants. And our main character is kind of realizing like, no, I think there's something wrong with my sister. And she's in this trap where she feels like she has to protect her because she's family, but she's also like, I don't know what to do, especially because now her sister has caught feelings and has her eye on a man that our main character actually likes and she is really into, and she's worried he's gonna be killed. So I thought it would be more like thrillery, but so far it's not. We're just getting more of like a literary fiction kind of thing going on, and more of a study of this girl trying to understand what to do. She's stuck in a pickle, and yeah, so I am liking it so far, and I'm interested to see where it goes from here. It's super short, so I'm gonna finish it soon. But yeah, that's what I've got so far, and I'm excited to give you an update later. Hi friends, okay, I am out on a walk right now. It's actually really nice outside today. Well, it's later in the afternoon. I haven't updated you in a hot minute. Well, I'm sweaty. But I just had a slow morning today and afternoon. Drew got the new, I don't even know what it's called, the like college football video game. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I feel like it's everywhere. Like every guy I know is playing it. But he got that last night, so he's been playing it like all day long. And I finished My Sister the Serial Killer, and then I went and did a little bit of Halloween decor hunting just for a little bit. I went to Joanne and Michael's and Marshall's. Yeah, they were all by each other. And so that's what I did. And then I came back home, and I've also been reading Perfume and Pain, and I'm pretty far into that now too. So I got some updates for you all. I'll also put in the footage from my Halloween hunting in after this clip. Let's talk about My Sister the Serial Killer. I liked it. I didn't love it. It felt like at the end, not a lot happened. Like I thought we were gonna come up on this wild twist, something was going to go down, and something like intense and wild. None of that happened. It was very just kind of like okay, and got repetitive because we were kind of hearing the stories. Well, we hear snippets of different guys that her sister has murdered and kind of like how she found out and what happened and how she assisted in these murders. And then you're really starting to worry like, oh, if and when is she going to hurt this guy that, you know, she actually knows and actually really likes, and is he gonna be murdered too? And in the end, it was just not satisfying at all. The ending, I was just kind of like, okay, that's it. I wanted more. I really wanted more. And not in the sense of the book was short. Like I think that the book length was totally fine, but a twist or something wild could have happened to make it just kind of like, whoa, you know? And I never got that shock factor like I was hoping for. I didn't hate it. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I still thought it was good, not great. There is a lot of commentary too. There is a lot of information just about like family dynamics between sisters, and also there's a conversation about their father who was like a very bad man and the things that they went through growing up. I don't think it's like in a way to show like that's why she turned out to be a serial killer or anything like that, but still, I did like that element of it and bringing in the family dynamics a lot. I always enjoy that in books, and the drama of it all with the family. I don't know if it gives Brat Summer exactly, like the thought of like this girl doing what she wants and not caring and just killing people. Yes, Brat. But unfortunately in this one, it's like you're not rooting for her. She's just very annoying. Her sister is like so just full of herself, thinks that she can get away with anything, won't take no for an answer, and has never really been told no. So she just thinks that she can do whatever and it'll be fine. And that's very Brat, but in this context, it was very annoying and she was super frustrating, and it was frustrating to read. Just all these things happening, and then our main character just like sitting by and letting it happen. And after a while I was like, come on, something needs to go down. And in the end I was just kind of like, well, boo, not that great. But that's all right. Now let's talk about Perfume and Pain, which I am absolutely freaking loving. Brat, Brat, Brat. It's giving Brat, all the feels. I love it. I mean, if a book starts out in the first chapter mentioning like growing up in TUMBLR times, yeah, that's the book for me. because that was me. I was a Tumblr girly. Were any of you too? Like, I grew up in it. I was so into the whole lore of the internet and just deep into it. People are walking by and I am anxious. It totally is cringe to like film yourself in public, but I'm also like, it's 2023, it's 2024. Am I okay? It's 2024. Like, can we just get used to people filming? I don't know, and like not judge them. But anyway, so Perfume and Paint, loving it, love it. This character, she's a hot mess, but somehow weirdly relatable, and I'm into it. She's a writer. She had an interview at Barnes & Noble and said some problematic stuff, did some things, and was pseudo-canceled. Not quite. I mean, who is actually canceled, really? You know what I mean? And she kind of decided, you know what, I need to take a break from my cocktail of substances, where she calls it, what does she call it? I think she calls it the Patricia Amherst, Patricia something, Blacksmith, something, I can't, it's like a name that she calls her cocktail of substances that she takes. And it's like, you know, after that incident in Barnes & Noble, she decides to take a step back, get healthier, be healthy. That's where we start off at. She's being healthy, and she starts talking to this girl online. She's in this book club that she kind of started with writers. I don't know if book club's the right word, but it's called Sapphic. Oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to look, but the name is funny. Sapphic, I can't remember. I'll put it here, but the name is hilarious. And she meets this girl in this like club and writers group, and her name's Ivy, and she's just kind of like getting through life. She's trying to write a book. She's in school, and they spark up this relationship. But our main character, she moves into a new apartment, and she and her neighbor is this girl named Penelope, and Penelope is also a lesbian, and she is vegan and seems to have a really, you know, good head on her shoulders and be very like self-assured with herself, and she's a little bit older. And our main character seems annoyed by her, but it also seems like she's into her, but she just doesn't want to admit it. And I do think eventually we might get to some sort of relationship there. I don't know, we'll see. I would like for that to happen. But currently, as far as I am in, she is having this relationship with Ivy. It's going good, but she ends up getting this opportunity where this actress slash influencer wants to buy up the rights to her book to make it into a film. And during this time, we kind of see our main character start to spiral, and she breaks her sobriety, gets back on her Patricia, whatever it's called, cocktail. She's just a hot mess, and she's just trying to like con people isn't the right word, but she's trying to just like trick people into believing that she is okay and sober and knows what she's got going on, but really she's just like flying by the seat of her pants, trying to make things happen, but she is messed up a lot of the time. And Ivy, this girl that she's dating, is also kind of into the party girl lifestyle. So I don't know if she's like the best kind of person to have around, but they seem to be hitting it off. But it's very much like nothing is high stakes. They're very privileged people in this book, and they are just living life and having their problems, you know, and I love it. I'm in it, and I just love the writing. It's so smart and witty, and just like there's like these little clips of things that I'm like, yes. Like they mentioned Grey Gardens at one point, Tumblr, House of Wax from the early 2000s, which is one of my favorites. And there's just like all these little mentions of things that I'm like, I love those things. And I don't know, it's like weirdly relatable to me in a way. I don't really know if there's a plot. I don't know if we're gonna get to some sort of climax at any point. I'm not sure, but so far I'm loving it. And yeah, it's for sure BRAT, B-R-A-T, BRAT to the max, and I love it. So yeah, I will update y'all later. I'm gonna keep on walking and listening to the audiobook of Perfume and Pain, and I will update y'all later. try to do the apple dance. I've never tried it before, but it's been on my timeline in all of my feeds for the past month, nonstop. I feel like it might be so funny if some of y'all are watching this video and you are just on a different place of the internet than I am. Like, this might be so funny to you, and because you're probably like, what is happening? But I'm gonna do the dance, attempt it at least. I'm not gonna play the song because of copyright, but I will sing it for you in my beautiful, lovely singing voice. Let's see if I can do it. Okay. Oh, my pets are watching me. Okay. Here, let me fix the camera. I think the apples right to the core from all the things all the apples falling before. I split the apple down symmetrical lines, and what I find is kind of scary, makes me just want to. That was a dance. I've never tried it before. I've just watched it 7,000 times, and then it's like in my head. Okay, I did it. I did it, y'all. I don't know if I will add this in the video. I just wanted to try it, so I did it. Anyway, I'm working. I'm almost off work. It's my early day. It's Monday, and I get off work Monday at 3 p.m. my time because I start at 7 a.m. So early. But here, let me turn this. The lighting kind of is crappy. And that's better. You can see my closet, our coat closet. Yesterday, I came back home from my walk. I did read a little bit more, and then I just hung out, watched some YouTube videos, and then we watched a horror movie. It was like Run, Rabbit, Run. Jasper, are you okay? He's really sneezing. But it was not the best thing ever, but it was kind of good. It was kind of like a slow burn, haunting kind of feel, set in Australia. It was interesting. I knew what had happened. I knew the twist from early on, but that's okay. It wasn't awful, but it was fine. When it ended, Drew was like, well, that's not the best thing I've ever watched. And I was like, no, but that's okay. And then, yeah, went to bed, and here we are. Been working. Yeah, Perfume and Pain. I am about 70% in. I'm getting far into it. I am really loving it. We're having relationship dynamics. We're having people being a hot mess and just not caring and having brat summers with themselves. Brat summers, like doing exactly what you want to do. Not caring, just living life, having fun, living life like there's no consequence kind of feel. But yeah, I am really liking the book. We have some really frustratingly annoying people in here. Everyone in this book kind of sucks. And that's the whole point. There's just so many references to like funny things and like tidbits. And I'm like, I love all of that stuff, like Grey Gardens. And then she talks about Brittany Murphy and her husband's or boyfriend's death and how she's like so intrigued by that. And I'm like, same girl. And it was just like so many little things that I'm like, yeah, I'm so into that too. And I just felt like we were like in the same place on the internet together, basically. So, but yeah, I am still really liking it. It's all these people are kind of problematic and they kind of suck, but that's what makes it so fun. So I'm probably gonna finish that tonight. I might go on a walk. It's kind of gloomy, so it might not be too hot. I don't know, we'll see. My Pilates class was booked up today, so I'm not going to that unless it opens up surprisingly. It's Monday, I don't know. We're just making it through, you know? So my lips are chapped as always. Living in Colorado, it's inevitable, but yeah, I just want to give you all a quick update and chat with you all, and I will update y'all later once I have finished the book. Everybody, okay, it is Tuesday and I just left the gym. I went to a bar class. It's storming real bad, so I hope it stops because we actually are going to a show tonight. We have tickets to the last dinner party and I'm really excited. I really love those girls, so yeah, they're fab and I'm really excited to see them. So I'm excited for the show. Gonna be fun. I gotta shower and get ready. Are you supposed to shower if it's storming and if it's lightning? Like, for some reason growing up, they were like, don't shower like during a lightning or thunderstorm. And I don't know if that's actually true or not. I don't know. But it sounds kind of fake. But last night, I didn't really update you. I edited a video until like 7 p.m. once I got off work, and I got it finished by 7. Then we had dinner, and then I just kept having trouble exporting it and uploading it. Like, I would export it and it would only be like 7 minutes, and the vlog was almost an hour. I think it was like 45 minutes. So it was a whole thing. And it took me like an additional like 3 or 4 hours to finally get it all fixed and up into YouTube. So that was annoying, but most of that time was just like sitting and waiting for it to export. So I wasn't actually doing anything. So while I was waiting for the exports and the uploads and all the things, I did finish Perfume and Pain, and man, this will definitely be one of my favorite books of the year. I loved it. And the thing is I don't even know why. I can't tell you why I love it. There's something about it that I'm like, everything here is just exactly what I wanted. Everything works. It doesn't make sense, but it works. And there's a slight tinge of romance, but really it's just like this girl whose problems aren't all that bad, but you know, we're just following her, living her life. She's an author. She's trying to get a book deal for a movie, and you know, navigating all these people, and a lot of them are like fake and full of it, and she doesn't know who her real friends are or what's going on. And there was something about it that just felt so real and inaccurate. And all of the mentions about little things and music and people and movies and books, I was just like, wow, yes, because I just relate so much to those things. I love all the things that they were talking about in this book. There is romance in here, but it's not like, oh, romance. It's like, this is what's happening. Like, here, this is what's happening. And I love that, because that's my issue with romance typically, is I get annoyed with the cheesiness. I'm just kind of like, this would never happen. And I have a hard time like suspending my disbelief when it comes to romance novels. But it just wasn't cheesy or anything. It was just like, this is, you know, how our relationship went down, and I love that. And our main character, she's like mid-30s. There's some commentary about getting older and, you know, losing touch and like trying to understand and stay on it with what's relevant. And there was just so many fun, witty, clever remarks in here. And it also it's kind of like tongue-in-cheek too. It's very aware of what it's doing and the kind of characters that we have, and just how nothing is really that serious, but it feels serious and like so dramatic to them. It was so good. The writing was fantastic. There were multiple times when I was reading this where I just like had to stop and be like, wow, I love this book. And that hardly ever happens to me. So it was just perfect. I loved it. If you're like late 20s to through your 30s, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, especially if you grew up online and Tumblr and were, you know, just present in those kinds of things, because I feel like we all kind of like the same things. What a time. I miss Tumblr. My Tumblr actually got deleted at one point. It was at the time the worst day of my life, and I kept posting videos with Prince songs in them, and my email for my Tumblr was a super old email that I hadn't seen, and I had gotten like copyright strikes on Tumblr about posting Prince songs. And if you don't know, they call them like the purple army or something. I don't know, but they would like be so online and like report people for using Prince stuff. Anyway, that happened to me. And yeah, then my Tumblr got deleted, and it was a very sad day. I think it was like 2014 or something. I can't remember, 14, 15, but it was rough. It was rough times. So yeah, and then after that I was just like, I can't redo this, because I had been working on it for years, so many years, that I was just like, I can't. I mean, I made a new one, but I just wasn't invested like I was before. So sad. And I don't know who goes on Tumblr anymore. Does anybody? I don't know. Maybe I'll just go on there and see what's up, because I'm curious now. But if you had a Tumblr phase, let me know. It was a time, and I miss it so much. Also, speaking of a theme, the brat theme, I mean, this book is very brat. Like, it's so brat. And even a few times, like, they talk about being a brat and being bratty and selfish. And I'm like, wow, what a perfect pick for this vlog. But I also think, too, the height of Tumblr was when Charlie XCX like put out True Romance and her first album, and it was just like, you know, the crosses and the black milk clothes and the Jeffrey Campbell Lolitas, and I just think about that time and like the height of Tumblr. And oh, little Victoria, I was in college. I think I was a sophomore in college at that time. Oh, if only I could go back, but but alas, I cannot. I am 31 now. I did see Charlie XCX during that era when True Romance had come out, and man, she was so fun. And speaking of Prince, and now I'm just babbling, but speaking of Prince, they had a band open for them called Kitten, and they were awesome live, like super, just like amazing stage presence, but they covered Purple Rain, and I was like, oh, there you go. It all comes full circle. Everything goes together. Read this book. I loved it, and I just think it's so fun. And I feel like some people might not relate to this so much, but I feel like a lot of women can, and I really just loved the talk about queer relationships and lesbian relationships and these characters involved. And they talk so much about K-Stew, and man, I love it. They keep bringing up in Kristen Stewart's book or of poems, and she's like, I'll suck her bones pretty or something, and they keep saying that line, and it's so funny. It's so funny to me. There were just so many things I was like, yes, so good, on the nose and clever. And I have decided to read All Night Pharmacy next. I did start it. I am a little bit in, not far, but we have our main character, I can't remember her name, but our main character, she has recently turned 18. Parents think that she's going to college, but she's actually lying and moving in with this guy. She's not going to college at all. And she's just moving in with this guy very quickly, might I say, and lying and saying she's going to school when she's not. And then her sister Debbie, who is older, she started stripping, and she got kicked out when her mom found out. Her mom has a lot of mental problems. They don't really go into exactly what there is. They said it's like multiple kind of things, but she has like manic episodes and depression, and it's been really hard for them growing up. So they never really had like a mother figure that was really fully, you know, around for them. And then their dad left them, and he's not involved in their lives at all. So they're kind of just fending for themselves. And Debbie started stripping because she felt like she really had no other option. Like she needed to help support things. But her mom was like, no, and he got really mad and kicked her out. And because of that, Debbie ended up kind of in a really horrible relationship, just out of necessity, where she needed someone to live with and somewhere to stay. So that's what's going on with Debbie. She's a very party girl, having fun, which is all fine and dandy, but she seems to get herself into some predicaments, and is also putting her sister into those. Like they talk about going to this bar all the time called Salvation, which is which funny enough, it's called Salvation, but before it was a dive bar, it was actually like a Christian bookstore, and they go there all the time. But our main character is just 18, and Debbie's totally okay with bringing her sister along and partying and doing different kinds of substances and things like that. So yeah, that's kind of where I am. Our sister relationship here is kind of fraught. Even our main character at one point calls her sister her best friend and her worst friend. And she kind of knows that she's a bad influence on her, but you know, it's her sister. Whenever it's a trope in a movie or a book, when someone fakes going to college, I'm like, how do you think you're gonna get away with that? Like, that's honestly like one of the wildest things to fake. I just don't get it, but I mean, whatever. I feel like out of all the things like you could lie and say you're doing, like that's a hard one to lie about. So, but yeah, her mom doesn't even know she's living with this guy, and she just lied and said she got like a scholarship to live on campus. She goes, I know that Debbie disappears, so that makes me nervous, and I don't really know if this is gonna be just about like character development and like relationship kind of thing, or like a character study, or like turn into trying to figure out where she is, what happened to her. I'm really interested to see where this goes, because I feel like there's lots of different ways it could end up. But yeah, anyway, I'll update y'all in a little bit. everyone, quick update. I also just wanted to show myself with actual makeup on and ready like a normal person. But if I waited to film to when I had makeup on, I would never film because I typically don't have makeup on. But we went to the show. It was so fun. Before the show, we went to a vegan restaurant called Fellow Traveler, and it's really good. I got a like barbecue jackfruit sandwich and fries, so did Drew, and it was really delicious. It was like North Carolina barbecue, or is that it? Which one's the mustardy one? I don't know. That's my favorite kind of barbecue sauce. So super tasty. And the show was awesome. I'll try to put some clips in, but it was so good. Their voices were amazing. They were harmonizing and just so fun, such a good time. And I just love the group of all girls. They're amazing. If you haven't listened to them, you should. They're just A++. I got a t-shirt and yeah, now we're back home. I did read a bit more of the book while I listened to it while I was getting ready. And literally right after I updated you last, I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Well, it's really picked up. Like some crazy stuff went down, especially just like with like dangerous situations that these girls are getting into, and you know, her sister really putting her in these situations. And you're like, what is going on here with these girls? Like, I'm worried about them. So like, it's like partying is one thing, but like putting yourself in like dangerous positions on purpose is another. But I think we're just now getting to the part where it's like no one's heard from her sister, and the sisters ended on bad terms. Something went down, and there's a lot of triggers with this book. I'm sure that you can look them up somewhere, but lots of triggers. So be aware of that. Just like any trigger you could probably imagine, I think it's gonna be in here. So just be aware of that. Last I read, it's like they kind of had a falling out. They got mad at each other, the sisters did. And then now they're like, well, where is your sister? And people aren't really sure. All right, everybody. It is the next day, and well, it's actually Thursday. I'm on my lunch break. But I finished All Night Pharmacy last night, and I didn't give an update again because I feel like things were transpiring in the story to where if I gave an update, I didn't want to give anything away. And it very much kind of gets to where we're just kind of showing this person's life play out, because we do have the sister that disappears. The toning with that is kind of weird. I mean, obviously our main character, she is using different substances to deal with the fact that, you know, they don't know where her sister is, and they kind of just assume that she's either run away or gone somewhere else, or, you know, just like cut them off. But I'm like, I feel like we should be more concerned about her. Like, she's been gone and no one knows where she is. And it actually goes on for a long time where they don't know where she is. This is honestly very dark. Like, this book is so dark and really sad in a lot of places. So be aware of that, like lots of triggers here. But yeah, they get in an argument, and then our older sister Debbie just poof, she's gone. We don't know where she is. And it's kind of strange because the whole book has like a tone where you're like, is this gonna get bad? Like, I don't know if I just read so much horror or thrillers or what, but I was like really waiting for like a twist to where like something bad went down. And the book definitely isn't that. It's not a thriller. Oh, and also I don't know her name because we are never told her name. It's the same as Natural Beauty, which I love, but she was never given a name. And but I think that's like a whole thing with the book. We just don't know her name. We know her sister Debbie and like her friends and family around her. But when her sister does disappear, you know, things start changing. Cycle that our girl goes in to where she does a little bit better, then she does worse, and she falls off the wagon, and she's really just trying to make it through life. I did kind of like how it ended. It's a little bit cheesy, I would say. And there was just a few things that felt convenient about it all that I was like, all right, that doesn't quite make sense. It does end up being queer and sapphic, which I love, so I'm into that. There really isn't a ton of plot here. It's more just like watching this girl's life unfold and the challenges that she goes through to, you know, stay sober and live life and, you know, get over a lot of trauma. I mean, I feel like the main focus and theme of this book is generational trauma and how things keep going down the pipeline no matter what, if things aren't taken care of and like realized, and work isn't done to emotionally deal with those kinds of things, and it just gets dumped on the next generation, and it really does go into that, and I did enjoy that. And yeah, we have a lot of generational trauma, family trauma, and just the dynamics of family as well. I did like it. I don't think it was the best thing ever. It was nothing, I feel like nothing about it was like new, but I did enjoy it. And I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. It could have been better for sure. And it was definitely a bit different than what I anticipated. I mean, the sister doesn't go missing till quite a bit in, which I thought was weird pacing a little bit, but you know, that's okay. I feel like we get a lot of visuals of how her sister really affected her life at such a young age, and caused her to have such a downward spiral too. Could have been a little bit more different. And yeah, nothing super special. It was good, not great. Overall, not a bad vlog. I'm happy about it. Are you having a brat summer? I can't believe it's almost over. It's actually quite cool here today. It rained. It's like 70 degrees, which I mean is better than like the 95 degrees we've been having in Denver. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, it's August here for me. So I'm hoping to get this video up soonish too, so that you can still watch it during brat summer. But it's coming to a close, and that's sad, but it's okay because it is spooky season. But thank you so much for being here. If you are having a brat summer, give this a thumbs up. And if you like book videos, please subscribe. I will be back with lots of spooky season content, lots of horror books. I'm so excited for the season, and I have a huge list of books that I am interested in that I know I will not get to, but I am going to try to get to quite a few of them. And I do plan on making some videos about my October and like Halloween wish list and like perfect books for autumn and things like that. So like I did last year. And if you are interested in any sneak peeks into fall books and stuff, I definitely have videos on my channel about that, as well as like TBRs and stuff like that if you want to get some book recommendations. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I hope that you're bumping that, having a fun brat summer. Bye.